Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another match reaction. Before I get into it, as always, please leave a like on this video. Be massively appreciated, and subscribe if you are new. I'm stumbling over my words because I'm still stumbling over the performance. Last thing before I go and break it all down very quickly is if you want to support the channel further, there is a membership link in the top line of the description. Don't feel like you have to. We never ask for any super chats or any donations or anything of the sort, but if you want to support us further, the link is there. I'm going to stop talking about that sort of thing and just move on to the game because my head is hot. My head is still hot. I mean, it's difficult to describe the way I'm feeling, to be honest. It's not the end of the world. I don't want to lose my head because it's still technically in our hands. Of course, it does rely on either a Liverpool slip-up or us beating them at Anfield now. Same thing with Arsenal. It kind of relies on, them slipping us or us beating them. I'm confident in being able to beat Arsenal at home. Although, with the way that we're playing, you never know. But having to go to Anfield and beat Liverpool is just, it's not ideal. But that's thinking too far in the future. We need to think of right now. And right now, again, my head is hot. I don't know how to describe it. Completely useless. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. I really don't know. I don't know where to start. I mean, I'll try and go through it. Let's start with the first half. Shocking. Absolutely horrific. Probably up there with the worst that we may have played all season. Terrible. Nothing going for us going forward. Absolutely nothing. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Shocking. The way the team's set up, the way Pep set us up, absolutely horrific. I have two major, obviously there's a few amount of points of where it went wrong. I don't really want to heap blame on certain things, but I have two major gripes. I have two major points where I think it went wrong. In the first half, it is completely down to Pep Guardiola. I don't like to criticise. I'm not for 1 second coming on here and saying I'm in a state, I'm of a high enough regard to give tactical advice or analysis to Pep Guardiola of all people. But it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that his setup in the first half was absolutely diabolical. It was horrific. Alvarez in midfield, Akanji in midfield. We had a midfield four. We had that box midfield that we played last season that consisted of Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne. Fantastic. Two of the greatest in their position. Manuel Akanji, who we have seen firsthand this season that can't do the John Stones wall, while John Stones is sat on the bench, may I add, and played in midweek, and Julian Alvarez, who, for whatever reason, this experiment of him playing in midfield is still going on. And I'm sick of it. I'm really sick of it. It's costing us games. It's cost us a game. This tactical decision to have Akanji playing the John Stones role. I don't know what it's for. You can't say it's for rest. Akanji's played one game since he got injured. He's played 90 minutes in this role. I don't understand. I don't get it. And then Alvarez in midfield. Where do I start? Where do I end? When does it end? I don't know where to go with it. It's been a reoccurring theme that he's played in this number 10 role, and you see Phil Foden being a touchline winger, and you're like, oh my God. I feel like I'm banging my head against a brick wall. I seem to be saying this quite a few times now. This experiment needs to end. It's bordering on just sheer favoritism at this point as to why Julian Alvarez keeps on playing. I had him in my predicted 11. I think a few other people did as well, but that's because we were just assuming that Bernardo Silva wasn't available. And then if Alvarez is playing in midfield, I get it. You don't really have many other options. You had Mateus Nunes. He's probably not suited to a game like we had today. Or you could play Oscar Bob on the wing again. Is he suited to a game like today? I don't know, maybe it's a bit of a big ask. Then I can understand it. Bernardo Silva's fit. He's on the bench. You're asking Manuel Akanji to play like John Stones. And you're asking Julian Alvarez to play like Bernardo Silva. When both of those players are fit and available and on the bench, I don't get it. I don't get it. That's just the first half. Where did we go wrong? Why were we 1-0 down? Because Pep Guardiola got the team set up wrong. And that's what it boils down to for me. He got it wrong. He doesn't often get it wrong. I'm not for 1 minute saying that, again, I'm in a position to overly criticise or say where it can go right or, all the X's and O's and whatever. But it don't take a rocket scientist to figure out that the team setup was absolutely horrific and we weren't going to win the game like that. And I'm not the only one who saw it either. Then we move into the second half. The second half, Pep changed it. Credit to him, he changed it. We looked much better. Akanji stayed back, Walker bombed on down the right. Foden was allowed to move a little bit further inside. We caught life. Second half is just down to Haaland. If we're being honest, how many sitters did he miss? 2, 3, 4? That's what's cost us the game. I'm not going to even mention the penalty or the fact that Caicedo probably shouldn't have seen the 90 minutes. He should have been sent off. I don't care about that. We had 32 shots and scored 1 goal. Haaland missed 3 sitters that I can remember off the top of my head. Absolute sitters that last season he's taken away. I don't know what it is. I know he's going through some personal things right now in his family life. I get it. I'm not going to go in too hard on Haaland. He won us 3 points against Everton. He scored 2 goals. We won 2-0. He can have a bad game. But that's what it boils down to in the second half for me. He missed chances. He missed sitters on a plate. And that's why we didn't win the game. We had the chances. We didn't take them. The first half was on Pep. We were set up wrong. He changed the setup. The setup was right. We caught life. We played well. We just didn't take our chances. And that's all it boils down to for me. I mean, aside from that, what positive is there to take? I don't know, that we still have Rodri. I mean, where would we be without him? Jesus Christ. I mean, goal out of absolute nothing. Nearly took the net off. Gives us a point that we probably didn't deserve, if we're being brutally honest. I mean, again, where would we be without this guy? It's not over. No, I'm still confident in this team. Still confident we can win the league. But for me, I don't think it's been a long time since I've been this frustrated over a game. This Alvarez thing needs to stop. I'm so caught up in it. I forgot that I was supposed to bring back an old feature as per request from the comment section. I did have a request to bring some player ratings. We used to do them. I still actually have the old setup for them, so I'll throw them on screen now. You tell me how delusional I am. Whether you agree with them, whether you disagree with them, I'm not going to go over them. They're just there for, if you want to leave a comment, I'll have a discussion, but I don't want to talk about individual performances because there's just too much going on right now in terms of just the general team. I mean, Edison, my man of the match, you can see, the question is, who's your man of the match? If it wasn't for him, we'd lose this game. We're probably 3-0 down and it's, game over. We don't have a chance for a point. So he's my man of the match. You see a few 6s in there. If we would have lost, it would have been lower. I mean, look, again, I don't want to go in too hard on Pep and Haaland, because I love them. I absolutely adore them. But the tactical setup today was wrong. The tactical setup against Everton in the first half was wrong. Haaland, since he's come back from injury, still owing up, has that great game against Everton. Apart from that, he's been okay. He did some good things today, in the box. He was holding off players and shielding the ball, creating space for other players. It's just his finishing was awful. So I think that'll do it from me. I just needed to get it off my chest, to be honest, because my head is still hot. I could have said a lot worse, but the main points it boils down to for me, just to summarise, is the first half. The tactical setup was wrong, and that falls on the manager. Not for 1 second saying anything absolutely ridiculous, like sack him or anything, or I'm sick of him. No, I'm just stating what I think to be the case, is that he's got it wrong. And the second half, he changed it and got it more right. I don't think he got it spot on. I think he should have made some subs, to be honest, but I know he wasn't going to do that. But in terms of just shuffling players around, he got it right. And it just falls on Haaland mainly, because the big chances fell to him and he didn't take them. So we take a point, we move on. Got Brentford in midweek, that's our game in hand. Unfortunately, we can't go top of the league anymore, but that game's now massive. We have to win that game. If we don't win that game, the league's out of our hands, and then it is, you know, I'd count us as not favourites at that point. But I believe this team will bounce back. We have the mentality. Yeah, I mean, we'll get to that when the time arises. If you do me a massive favour on the way out of this video, and please leave a like, it'd be massively appreciated, and subscribe if you are new. Don't know when we'll next be live, so turn your notification bells on. My guess is over the weekend to talk about the fixtures. Of course, this guy will be a massive talking point. And of course, top line in the description, there is a link to become a channel member if you want to support the channel further. We'll never ask for any donations or any super chats of any sort. But if you want to support us further, the option is always there. Thanks very much for watching. And if I don't see you for a stream over the weekend, I will see you in midweek for Brentford.